Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Call It in the Ring. I am Chris.
Episode 3.
We go, episode 3. This is the Money in the Bank 2018 reactions. Okay, I am joined with Mike tonight. We're going to be going over the 11 matches. I know technically one's on the pre-show, but we're going to be going over the 11 matches that were on the card for this event that evening. All right?
Let's start by saying I won predictions, by the way. Just put that out there.
Yes, he did. He won 5-3. We're going to be having a video coming out in the following week. It's going to be a challenge video of sorts regarding booking. And because he won, he's going to be able to pick what we are going to rebook. So, we'll see what happens. That'll be announced, a little bit down the road, potentially on Twitter.
Yes.
Check our Twitter out and make sure that you follow so you can keep in touch, stay in the loop. And
these links.
Definitely in the description box down below. Now, we're going to start, as I said before, with the tag team championship match between the Bludgeon Brothers and the Good Brothers. So obviously the Good Brothers lost this match.
Yes.
It was,
unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate, but the match for what it was worth was a little solid match. There wasn't really much going on. Gallows got taken off the apron early on. The Bludgeons just kind of dominated Anderson. Anderson had a really good rally late on, and Gallows came in and burnt the house down, and then got just some water dumped on him. He just got put out instantly, and match just kind of ended after that. The momentum got stopped, and the Bludgeons took over. It was what it was. I'd personally give it about 2 stars. It was a pre-show match for what it was worth. I see that the Good Brothers tried to get the crowd hype and get shit going, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah. I didn't watch this match, so I agree with everything you said.
You got the prediction correct, but you didn't watch.
It was
the
thing.
match.
I did not watch the match.
You were like, I don't need to watch this match. I know who's gonna win.
Nah, I didn't want to see the club get beat. So
okay. Next we had Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Big Cass tapped out again.
surprisingly, we were both wrong.
We were both wrong. We both thought that Big Cass would win
Didn't
this
see
match.
that coming.
The first of many matches that we were both wrong about.
Yes.
So this match, in my opinion, the pacing was solid. Cass did have a lot of spots where he looked kind of weak, which I felt, obviously was the biggest deterrent.
Yeah.
Torture Rack spots were kind of bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think anybody really liked those Torture Rack spots. If he can
It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. It was, Daniel Bryan's punching him in the head. He's not selling the punches. He just backs into the corner. It was a weird match. It was a weird spot. And, thankfully he didn't drop Daniel Bryan on his head with the burning hammer. So
he tried it twice. And, it could have been bad. We did have that one spot, though, where we winced collectively when Daniel got thrown into the barricade in his head.
The barricade.
And we all thought he got concussed again.
Scary. It was a scary spot.
But this man is a tough man, and he has a never say die attitude. So he fucked Big Cass up and he made him tap again. I hope it doesn't go for another match. I'm hoping it's the end of their feud.
There's no need.
There really isn't
at this point.
If Daniel's gonna go up 2-0 against Cass, I don't see the point in Cass trying to get his heat back. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. Like you said, it was a solid match. The story of the match is Daniel Bryan using his quickness to attack Cass, and he was targeting the surgically repaired knee. So it was a solid match. It was Big Cass obviously has his limitations in the ring, so you can't expect a 5-star match out of him. It was solid for what it was. To his credit, he escaped the yes lock and the heel hook a couple times, but once Daniel Bryan got that heel hook in, he tapped out immediately again, which I don't really understand the logic there. I mean, it kind of seemed like they were trying to rebuild Big Cass, book him as this monster heel. And 2 matches in a row now, he's tapped out immediately.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't make him look dangerous. It doesn't make him look tough. It just makes him look really weak. And to a guy who, that he was sitting there cracking jokes on for being 5'8", and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that and all that bullshit.
True. I personally gave this match 2.25 stars. Um, it
Yeah,
it
uh,
it definitely was better than the pre-show match. In my opinion, it was a match. I
it was a thing. It
it, wa-
happened.
it definitely exists. We were there. Um, but that's
No.
kind of as far as it was for me. It's no disrespect. It was what it was. Call a spade a spade. Match wasn't that good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Um,
Daniel Bryan can only carry him to so good of a match, and
yeah.
it was what it was. I agree with what you said. For a rating, it was whatever, and it's time for Daniel Bryan to move back up to the main event and work with credible people.
So that's that. We're gonna move on from that now because I won't talk about that anymore. It makes me sad that Daniel Bryan has to be in this feud. Um,
Do we have to talk about the next match?
yes, we do because we gotta cover the whole
Yes,
show.
it was also a thing that happened, but
Yes,
it
it
wasn't a
was.
good thing.
No, it wasn't. This one it didn't really matter who won. But I definitely got it
We
wrong
all
again.
lost.
I mean, you
We all
didn't. You got
lost. That's
it
all that
right.
matters.
You got Bobby
Well,
Lashley versus Sami Zayn. You predicted Bobby Lashley. I predicted Sami Zayn. I got it wrong. So this is where you went up 1-0,
yeah,
and
yeah. I mean, this was a glorified squash match.
it
Sami Zayn
really
didn't
was.
get a ton of offense in. The highlight of the match for me is the crowd chanting Bobby Sisters. Shout out to them.
I mean, he did get a
Uh,
pop. He got one pop when
Yeah.
he did the vertical suplex, and they asked him to do it one more time,
He
and he
needs to
actually
stop
obliged.
doing that. He needs to stop doing that. I'm terrified he's going to drop people on their head every time. And for a guy that's as muscular and as strong looking as he is,
Yeah, it kinda
he
does
looks like
hurt.
he's struggling every time he does that suplex. And
Yeah, it
I'm
does hurt him
terrified
to
he's
come
going to
out.
drop somebody.
I mean, he already
God,
has.
hopefully, well, yeah, you're not wrong. Hopefully, he and Daniel Bryan are never in the ring together because I definitely don't want to see Daniel Bryan get dropped on his head by this guy.
They were a Greatest Royal Rumble, but Cass got the fucked up spot.
Yeah,
So I mean, like obviously, never want to see a man get hurt. Period. But grateful that Daniel wasn't the one to bear the brunt of that spot because he can't really take it, as far as WWE
Yeah.
would like to have you believe.
Sami Zayn deserves better. I'm just throw that out there. He
Sure.
deserves so much more than what he's got. But this match was not great.
They deserve things. Um,
And
potentially
stuff.
good things. Yeah, there was.
Shit.
Depends on how you feel about the way this match came out. Me personally, I was kind of let down. I thought the match would be a little bit better. It was about maybe like 10 minutes worth of Sami Zayn just running away from Bobby Lashley, and 2 minutes of Bobby Lashley beating Sami Zayn up, and that was the
Yeah.
match. And it was just Sami Zayn
Yeah.
had all the offense, and Bobby just needed that one spot, and he
Yeah.
just abused Sammy after that, and that was pretty much the match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this match 1.5 star. It was not a good match. All things considered, they just don't have great chemistry together. The storyline is really dumb.
It's so bad.
I understand the storyline was what it was because Sammy wasn't gonna go to Jeddah, so they need to have a reason as to why. So they decided to say, "Oh, Bobby Lashley gave him vertigo, so he can't travel on a plane to go to Saudi Arabia because
Yeah.
Like for what it's
Yeah.
worth, like in real life, Sammy has a very good cause, Sammy for Syria, where he, is
Right.
trying to provide medical relief and aid to people that need it in the Middle East, and
Yeah, absolutely.
for what it's worth, the man chose not to go there because he knows that it goes against his beliefs, and he would not be welcome there. It'd probably be very unsafe for him to have been there, considering
Oh,
that
for
they
sure.
know where he's from.
Yeah, absolutely.
With barring all that, and like just wrestling wise, the match was not good, and due to that, I'm just gonna have to give the match 1.5 star.
Yeah, I'd probably go with the same. As great as Sami Zayn is, he couldn't pull this out and make it into a good match.
Nope.
So yeah, sure, 1.5 stars. Let's go with that.
It was a match. That's what they
It,
say.
it
in
was
the,
it was a thing.
yeah.
It happened.
That's what it says in
Saw
the
it.
review for the match. It was a match.
Yeah.
We had to watch. The next match we had on the card was the first of many good matches. It was Seth Rollins versus Elias for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Arguably it was Elias's best match in the main roster to date.
By far.
Maybe his best match in WWE, period.
Oh, by far. By far.
Now, we were both wrong about this match.
Yes.
The booking for this show was really fucking weird. Because we predicted a lot of shit that's predictable.
The main event explains why we were wrong about this match. That's okay.
Yes. But this match was pretty good. It had a great back and forth. Rollins got a knee injury about halfway into the match and sold it for the rest of the match. He actually remembered to sell it.
Match at that point.
Because he doesn't always remember to sell it. And Elias had a really great sequence near the end of the match where he
barricade.
He sandbags Rollins into the. He sandbags Rollins into the barricade, and then grabs him, throws him into the pole, and then runs him off the pole into the steel steps, and then goes for a giant elbow drop with the top rope. And the crowd pops huge for it. It was an amazing fucking sequence.
This is an issue I have with a lot of wrestlers, and something I really liked what Elias did here was he showed a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Like he showed, I have him at this moment. I need to capitalize on it and try to win this match. And a lot of wrestlers don't show that. It's one of the problems I have with Roman Reigns, and we'll get to him later. But he's always just super nonchalant and never has a sense of urgency about him. And I was really thrilled with, as a heel, Elias showing this sense of urgency. I have to capitalize now and try to be this opportunist.
Yeah. The only problem I had was the fact that Rollins had to win by rolling up Jinder.
He cheated to win.
Yeah, cheating to win.
He had to grab the tights.
Yeah, it wasn't that he had to grab the tights that was the problem. It's the fact that commentary sold it as, he only cheated to win because Elias. He respects the man too much.
Yeah, because Elias pushed him to his limits. Yeah.
That was the problem I had.
Sure. It was weird. It was weird considering, Rollins has been on a tear for the last 2-3 months, and he hasn't had to resort to these tactics against John Cena and Roman Reigns and Finn Balor and The Miz. So why would he have? Yeah, why would he have to do this against Elias? It was a little weird in terms of the booking, but
I guess if the logic is he's doing it because they're trying to portray Elias as a big enough threat to justify him doing it, then sure.
Sure, it makes sense.
But otherwise, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I agree.
I'm gonna give this match a 3 and I'd say 3 1/4 stars. It was easily the best match at that point so far. It was not a 4-star match or a 5-star match. It was solid. It was above average. That's where the 3 1/4 star comes from. So you know,
I would maybe go a little higher. I'd probably go 3 3.75 stars just because I did not expect this from Elias. Throughout his run at NXT, throughout his run on the main roster, he's solid in the ring, but he hasn't really shown me much to think he's a great wrestler. He's more an entertainer. And this match kind of showed me that he can be a really good wrestler, good to great with the right opponent. So I'd probably go 3 3/4 stars.
All right, sounds good. All right, and with that, we're going to transition on to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It had Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Ember Moon, Lana, Naomi, Natalya, and Sasha Banks. Alexa Bliss, unfortunately, in my personal opinion, happened to win the briefcase. She spent a lot of the time of this match on the outside.
Outside the ring.
Yeah, she took 1 or 2 bumps early on. Ember Moon fucked her up kind of early. I think Naomi fucked her up kind of early, and she was done. She just pulled a mini Braun, and she just hid under the ring kind of until, about the last 5 minutes of the match. And meanwhile, Ember Moon and Sasha and Charlotte, put on a clinic, fucking people up with these ladders.
Oh, Ember Moon came out on fire in this match.
Ember Moon
she was fucking
literally was like, I need to win this match. I don't care if I'm booked to win this match. I need to win this match. Just storyline wise, it didn't make sense that Alexa won this match. Me personally,
no.
I understand that, considering the way the match went, the following match went down, I understand why they did it. We'll touch base on that later. Yeah. But it's frustrating. I don't think Alexa needed this. She was holding the belt forever.
She's dominated the title scene probably the last 10 or 11 months for the most part. Realistically, anybody else but Charlotte could have really benefited from this win.
Yes.
Becky, Sasha, Ember,
Lana
even
would have
Lana could
definitely.
have benefited from this.
Oh my
And
god.
Lana actually put on a decent performance here.
Oh yeah. She has some good spots.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, the MVP of this match by far was Ember Moon.
Oh, yeah.
She had a very sick looking spot with Sasha Banks where she did her springboard crossbody onto Sasha and she landed flat on a ladder. I'm kind of disappointed I did not see it in the clips off the top of a ladder, but you know.
Oh my god. You're trying to get someone to get their neck snapped.
Yeah, you know.
Only Mickey James can bump like that. You can't just have, like, especially if it was Sasha.
Sure.
Oh my god. Sasha would be like, yo, my back is fucked. I can't wrestle anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But, you know, like you said, I don't understand the point of having Alexa, and we'll touch on that later. Having Alexa win this, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. When there's so many more people that could have benefited from this win. All in all, though, it was a good match. It was definitely a more risky match than the first women's Money in the Bank match, where they let them do more here.
Which one of the first?
The
The
one that
Ellsworth first,
won.
or the
The one that Ellsworth won. They definitely let them do more here, and there was definitely more high spots here. So yeah, it was good. Also disappointed Charlotte didn't do a moonsault, but you know, once again, it is what it is. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I wasn't a fan of the outcome.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Overall, as far as match quality, we've delved into that. But what would you give it on a star rating?
I'd probably give this one 3 3/4 stars again. It was good. It was enjoyable. It just the finish really kind of ruined it for me. You know, so there's that. But it was a fun match.
All right, that's fair. I'm actually gonna give it a slightly lower score, at 3.5 stars. I definitely agree that it was superior to their previous outing, but you know, for me the biggest damper was, as we've agreed upon early, it was Alexa winning. It was a great match, but the ending kind of dampened its overall appeal, because I just feel like the wrong person happened to walk away with the briefcase. From that, we're going to move on to the other match. You know, the other match had the pigeonhole in somewhere. They figured out a spot. It was Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal with Sunil Singh in a wheelchair. Jinder Mahal lost after repeated interference from Sunil Singh in his favor.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's Roman, and I got this one wrong, too.
Yeah.
What'd you feel? How'd you feel?
You know, there's not much to say about this match. It was, you know, Jinder works a very slow, methodical pace. Reigns works a very slow pace as well, for the most part. So it was boring. It didn't need to happen. You know, if you heard the crowd, you know, they're chanting everything but for these guys here. They're chanting CM Punk, NXT. This is awful. This is boring. It just wasn't great. And it's hilarious because, you know, the referee Charles Robinson then comes out on Twitter and tells Chicago how disappointed he is in them because they shit on a great match. And I don't know what match he was watching, but this was not a great match at all.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I'm gonna give it 1.5 stars. Honestly,
You're generous.
yeah, but you know, in my opinion, I kind of put it in the same envelope as the Sammy Lashley match. You also have to take things with a grain of salt. You know, like there's just inherent hate for your Roman regardless. Granted, the match was still bad, so I'm not gonna give it better than
he doesn't,
what it got.
He doesn't do himself any favors.
Yeah, but there's definitely a lot of just inherent hate from the crowd because the crowd's just like, yeah, we're just not gonna cheer this man. Like this man can save like a box of fucking like kittens like from a burning building and they wouldn't cheer this man. They're like, all right, cool, you could have done it faster. Fucking asshole. Like they don't like him, and I understand why. I've talked about it in great depth and you know personal conversations, but it is what it is. Roman just can't get over. And they won't turn him heel. They you know, looking a gift horse in the mouth. We've had multiple opportunities to turn the man heel, and the crowd were like super behind it, and they were just like, nah, fuck that. We shit on your plans. We don't like the fact that you guys want to have nice things, because why would you?
Yeah.
So you know, it was what it was. 1.5 stars. What did you give it?
I go 1 star. It was just bad.
Okay.
And that's not to shit on Roman Reigns. Like you said, he does get a lot of hatred. It was just bad. It was a really bad match, and you know, there's not much else to say about it.
Yeah. Um, and with that note, I'm gonna move on. We're gonna go to the WWE Women's Championship from SmackDown Live. It was Carmella versus Asuka. We had a little surprise here. It wasn't really a surprise for anybody who actually watched the product. Or listened to any of the dirt sheet stuff. You would know Ellsworth was teased to come back, and he did just that and caused Asuka the
Yeah.
match.
It didn't help that the indie promotion that he was supposed to work for this weekend came out on Twitter and said he
Publicly
canceled.
announced, yeah.
That he was supposed to be in China, and clearly he was not.
Personally, I thought this match was far superior to Carmella's match with Charlotte. It had a lot more pace. Storytelling was a little bit better. Obviously, Carmella was, carried to a better match because, my opinion, out of the three women, Carmella's obviously the weakest wrestler out of her, Charlotte, and Asuka by far.
Of course.
She's a great heel. That's kind of it. She needs more time to work on her in-ring work. She has grown leaps and bounds from her time in NXT, but she's just not ready. She was great as Miss Money in the Bank. I get that she couldn't hold the briefcase all that time.
Right.
And I get that you wouldn't have the first ever cash in be a failure either. So I see what happened. I understand what happened. I'm not trying to shit on her for it. I'm just dealing with it as it was. I don't understand the spot though, however, behind Ellsworth, the way he came out to fuck with Asuka to ruin the match for her. He came out in her kimono with the no mask on, covering his face, and Asuka just stood there like she was petrified and she didn't know what to do.
Right, like she had seen a ghost and didn't know how to respond.
And then Carmella caught her with that super kick again. Same one she
that
caught.
Weak fucking looking super kick.
It's called the freeze tag super kick because it's such a light fucking super kick, and they just stay down forever. It's calling it the freeze tag super kick.
I mean, I'd rather. I mean, granted, they couldn't do this finish 2 nights in a row with someone passing out, but I'd rather she put her in the code of silence and Asuka passed out. It was not, it was better than the match with Charlotte. Like, you said in the predictions you thought it'd be a sleeper match, and to a degree it kind of was.
Considering that no one thought it was going to be as good as it was until the finish.
Sure, but the finish ruined it for me. Listen, I'm happy to see James Ellsworth back because I like the guy. And I hope good things happen for him coming back. But I didn't see the point in bringing him back to pair him up with Charlotte again. I mean, Carmella again. And I also wasn't a fan of Asuka actually getting pinned by Carmella. So it was a thing. It happened. This is definitely going to lead to a match between them at Takeover SummerSlam in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And hopefully Asuka picks up the title there.
Sure.
Happy Ellsworth back.
Sure. I mean, I'd give this match 2.5 stars.
I think that's fair.
It was a solid match. The ending kind of ruined it. It could have had a higher rating if not for the ending. They could have done a billion other things to have Ellsworth come back. I get, granted, technically the way he came back was actually emblematic of his character. That's kind of how he is. It's kind of the dumpy guy who is trying to make it work, and he's just it's Ellsworth.
Yeah, I mean, I do wish he would have come out and it resulted in a DQ finish, as opposed to Asuka actually getting beat again. But it is what it is.
And then the next match that we have on the card is going to be, oh god, it's this match. The last man standing match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Arguably the better of their fucking 4 matches that they've had.
It's the best one because it's had a definitive finish.
Sure, and the actual match quality was better.
Sure.
But
this was a good match.
I just felt that the wrong man won. I understand one of the biggest issues as to why happened to lose. Nakamura happened to lose was because of the fact that AJ is going to be on the cover.
Yeah, of 2K19. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was announced earlier today, along with the $1 million fucking contest with AJ Styles. But due to that, Nakamura lost. I don't understand the logic behind it. You could have the man lose and just announced it earlier and just tease that he was gonna win.
I agree.
They had other ways to go around doing this. They knew he was probably going to be in the thing for at least the last 6 months, but they didn't. So Nakamura lost, and now he's just in the mid card effectively because no one knows how the fuck he's going to beat AJ. Lost 4 times in a row to this man.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much they can do with Nakamura at this point, other than put him like in the U.S. title scene. It's interesting. It makes you wonder why he lost. I mean, other than the 2K thing, but I agree. He should have won here. This was their best match. It was a lot of good spots here. I thought the finish was cool with AJ doing the phenomenal forearm through a table. In all this time, though, has AJ Styles not learned to wear a cup? Like, how many times has he got to get punched in the dick?
I mean,
before he learns.
For what it's worth, he did see the first one coming, though.
He did, but then he still got caught.
Because that was an hilarious fucking spot between Shin and AJ, where he's just like, oh, like, please, sir, I know I'm trying to punch you in the dick, but just don't fucking kill me. Like, I get it. I fucked up, but we all make mistakes, right? Like, he was about to cry, considering how and it was a great spot. Like, AJ sets up for the Styles Clash. He knows Nakamura's gonna hit him with the low blow. He just steps back and just bops Nakamura, and Nakamura just gets fucking shook. It was amazing. But it was easily their best match out of the 4. Obviously bad booking, backstage stuff kind of affected this match's quality and outcome, and I just felt that it was Nakamura's time, and I don't understand how they're going to rehab the character now.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle to rehab his character at this point. I mean, he's lost, 6 times already?
Yeah, 4 to AJ and 2 to Jinder, and
so and hey, unfortunately, maybe he never gets to that. I mean, there's the stigma that maybe Vince doesn't want a Japanese world champion,
which I think is like very stupid for obvious reasons.
Oh, it's very stupid, but considering how he's treated Japanese wrestlers up until now, Kai and Tai and I choppy your pee and all this like super racist shit.
Sure.
It makes sense to a degree.
Hell, even the way he ruined Asuka's fucking win streak in Mania.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, Nakamura and Asuka have not been booked as well as they were in NXT. So it kind of tells you everything you need to know there. But yeah, I mean, it was their best match. I agree with you. The wrong man, won. As much as I love AJ Styles, and then as great as he is. It was definitely Nakamura's time, and it's unfortunate. And, I'm interested to see where he goes from here.
Hopefully into a feud with someone like Daniel Bryan or Jeff Hardy, something that can just elevate him.
Yeah.
He could probably get a win or 2 off of one of them that he desperately needs more than they do.
For sure.
We'll see what happens. But me personally, I'm gonna give this match 3 stars. It's hard to say that. I'm gonna actually bump it up. I'm gonna give it 3 and 3.5 stars. I'm just being biased because I didn't like the finish. But as far as like actual match quality, it was actually a good match. I can't just shit on it like that. Let me be fair.
Yeah.
Give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I'd probably go similar to that. It was a good match. It was their best match by far. Clearly, it still hasn't touched their Wrestle Kingdom 10 match, but it was a really good match. And I would have definitely rated this match higher had Nakamura won, but he didn't. So I'd probably go with the same 3.5.
It could have easily been a 4-star match if Nakamura won, like easily, because the match was really good. It's just the finish kind of fucked it up. But from that, we're gonna move on to the next to last match on the card, which was
title.
Yes. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It's not the next to last match on the card. And I'll tell you why. The Raw Women's title, which was Nia versus Ronda.
I see what you're doing here.
Yeah. And so neither woman won. It was a DQ finish. Technically,
Nia won by DQ.
No, Ronda won.
Ronda won?
Because Ronda ended up getting Nia in the armbar late in the match. She arguably had her best showing so far. Granted, Mania was her only other real match, but
it was a solid match. And I'm definitely one of these people who has no love for Ronda Rousey because she's taking up a spot that I think other women deserve on the card. But I can't deny that she's put in a really good performance here.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I just don't fucking know. Like the match was a solid match. Nia had like great chemistry with Ronda. They did the whole big small dynamic. She
Yeah,
teased a
absolutely.
lot of power moves, and Ronda, like got a lot of good like hope spots in. She took her
Yeah,
over with the judo throw late in the match, and then she got on the
yeah,
arm
which
bar.
was pretty impressive.
And we thought it was gonna be all over for Nia. We thought Ronda was gonna win, and then the crowd popped huge. And I thought it was because of the tap, and then I was obviously wrong. And then we heard a briefcase smack to the back of Ronda's head, and Ronda got knocked out. And then Alexa rolled up on Ronda and was like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on here?" And just proceeded to fuck up Ronda with the briefcase, threw her into the like out the ring into the ringside area, threw her into the announcer's table with the briefcase, and then she came and weirdly pelted Nia with the briefcase. I don't understand that. Which then started another match because she cashed in, hit Nia with the DDT after hitting with the briefcase one more time, and then hit it with the Sparkle Splash. I'm not gonna call it Twisted Bliss. It's Sparkle Splash.
Okay.
And we got Alexa Bliss as the Raw Women's Champion for the 5th time in the past 480 days. Actually,
Yeah,
no, not 480
it's
days. In the past 500 plus days, she's held the belt for almost 480 days. So,
yeah, it's a shame. No disrespect to Alexa, but there's a lot of talented women on the Raw roster who definitely deserve that spot, maybe more than her. And I feel really bad for Nia at this point because like they did this whole story with Nia, she's overcoming bullies and Alexa's calling her fat and making fun of her and all this shit, and she's talking about be a star, embrace your differences, you're unique, and embrace all that good shit. And they kind of really put her in this weird feud where she picks up the title and she's a baby face, but then she challenges Ronda and she's like a tweener slash heel again out of nowhere.
yeah, I didn't like that.
And she just drops the belt back to Alexa. So, so much for, her saying bullies always get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
Because that didn't happen here. So it's unfortunate. It's weird. I'm not excited to see Alexa there. My only guess is that maybe they wanted to go back to pushing Nia as a face, and they wanted like a legit heel for Ronda to take the belt off at maybe SummerSlam.
that's all I can think of.
But yeah, it was disappointing, and it just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
But okay, so we can give this. I'm just gonna give this whole segment 1 match rating.
Sure.
So between Ronda and Nia, if it was just the two of them, I would have easily given this match 3 stars. It was a pretty good match. All
I
things
agree.
considered, Ronda had a great showing. It was middle of the road, slightly above average. It was good. It did what it needed to do, and it did it well. There was very few botches, if any, during this match. I remember there was one spot where Ronda had a little, issue trying to pick up Nia for the judo throw the first time.
And there was the Samoan drop as well.
Yeah, where Ronda needs to learn how to turn
Ronda
when
did
she gets
not-
picked up.
Yeah, she did not take that bump well at all.
Nope. She'll learn. Hopefully, I actually hope for her sake, like for her health.
Yeah.
She needs to stop taking Samoa drops on her side or on her fucking face. Because if she
Sure.
takes a Samoa drop like that, she's gonna get hurt, and it's gonna be really bad. Because you don't want
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
Nia's size. Like all things considered, like it is what it is. I'm not trying to make fun of Nia's weight or anything like that. It's
No,
just
she's a plus size woman.
she's a plus size woman. She's 270 pounds, and Ronda's literally 130 pounds. Like it's not smart to have somebody just fall on you like that with that much momentum, that much strength. Because let's be real, all things considered, you can say what you want about Nia's weight, but she's a strong fucking person. Like just to manhandle you like that and throw you around and you just fall on your fucking face is not a good idea. You don't do shit like that if you're trying to not get hurt. So Ronda needs to
absolutely.
learn that really quick if she's not trying to get hurt out here. But yeah, what would you give it personally out of 5 stars?
With the Alexa segment, I'd probably drop it down to like 2.5 stars. The match was good, for what it was. Ronda's progressed quite a bit, in a short amount of time. And, like you said, her and Nia had, pretty good chemistry in this match. But the Alexa thing does kind of kill it for me, so I'd go 2.5 stars.
And the last match we have on the card is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match containing Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, Rusev of Rusev Day, obviously, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. We also had the surprise entrance, which was Kofi Kingston, which was the last and almost only thing I got right for the whole fucking night. My 1 out of 3 that I got right. For what it's worth, they did tease it pretty fun. I like the way they did the whole thing with Woods tearing the shirt open. It has Kofi on his chest, and Kofi's like, "Yeah, let's go." I popped huge when they picked Kofi. I actually thought he was gonna win because sometimes when they add wrestlers in last minute to a match, sometimes they win. So I figured, it might be Kofi's time. Kofi might just happen to win this match, and then he didn't, and I was let down. But you know
why that is, right? You know why he didn't win, right?
Yeah.
It's because he didn't accept the pancakes from Kevin Owens. They didn't want to form an alliance.
I mean, Blue happened to Kevin Owens for trying to form an alliance. He got these hands twice.
He did.
He got fucking like thrown through the fucking ramp. I don't understand how he took that bump. That was a really bad bump. And then separately from that bump, he also got effectively choke slammed off the side of let's say like a 25-foot ladder through a table.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Yeah. This man definitely got paid for that spot. Like just whatever it was, they just handed him a separate set of money after that. They were like, you got it. You knew what it was. Because he took that bump fucking horribly. Then there was a spot where, which was my favorite spot of the night, when Braun Strowman runs through a ladder that Bobby Roode and Finn Balor are holding, and Miz just shits himself. He just completely shits himself.
Yeah.
I mean, also there was the other spot where Finn tries to pick up one of the ladders that's Braun's been covered by, when the whole fucking group decides to just bury him in ladders.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, we got to get rid of Braun, so let's bury him under like 20 ladders.
Which was fun, even though it was
effective
stupid.
for a little while.
Yeah. I didn't understand why they took them so long to get it together. Kevin Owens was out here trying to scheme himself a.
Kevin Owens is the only smart one there. Like, hey, we need to take Braun out, and everyone else is just playing games. Like, he's not a serious threat. I kind of forgot Bobby Roode was in this match. Did he really do anything?
Nah, he kind of just ate that spot. He did a lot of shit though with the ladders early on. He teased a lot of glorious DDTs, but that was kind of it. He kind of felt like a warm body, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt that way about him and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe had some spots in there as well, but
I mean,
he also kind of felt like a warm body to me, at least.
I don't know. I felt the opposite about Samoa Joe. I felt that next to Braun, he probably had the second strongest showing out there, just manhandling people.
Sure.
I mean, granted, like Joe kind of has a habit of being the guy who doesn't deliver on matches since he's come back from injury. They took him off Raw just to avoid this, and now that's all that happens to him. He just loses big matches. And like a big talking point from one of my personal acquaintances, he brought up the fact that he was concerned that they're gonna refer to how they're building up Samoa Joe with the Bray Wyatt effect, where you put him in a lot of high profile matches but he never wins, so he can elevate other wrestlers.
That's a great point, actually.
And I don't want to see it happen, but it looks like it's gonna happen because he talks a great game, but every time
he loses every time.
Every time like it matters, he doesn't win, and it's very frustrating. But Braun Strowman ended up winning this match. We all picked The Miz.
Yeah, we were both wrong.
Yeah.
Speaking of Miz, just to highlight him and his brilliance and his gimmick, there's the spot where the other guys are covering Braun with these ladders, and while they're doing that, Miz is actually the only one smart enough to try to grab the briefcase.
Oh yeah, and then Samoa Joe has to run from the top of the ramp all the way to the ring to pull the ladder down.
Yeah, so shout out to the Miz for that. The Miz is fantastic.
And the Kofi spot that he collaborated with Braun for.
He climbed on Braun's back.
Yeah, he just sat up there until Braun was like, "Oh, hey, you're here." Just hip tossed him to the floor from on top of a fucking ladder. You know, shouts out to Kofi for that. I felt a little sad when he then tweeted after he got backstage, you know, so close.
So close.
And then
so close.
Xavier tweeted out, "Hey, you know, if it's the last thing I do before I retire, I'm going to make this man world champion." And I just had a little, you know, feeling of sadness in my heart. I was like, you know, this man deserves so much more than what he's got in the last, you know, 10 years since they basically buried him.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Not wrong.
I'd love to see world champion Kofi. I'd love to see, even if it meant the New Day, you know.
Free bird the belt?
Yeah, I'd love that. Just something. Just get me the 51st through 53rd champions out the way. I need something. I'd love that.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know,
like you said, Braun Strowman winning the match.
And subsequently, you know, what did he do? This man's a crazy man. Out here calling out Brock Lesnar now, talking about, I'm just gonna tell you I'm gonna catch you out here with his briefcase.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I, you know, and I guess you as well, wanted the Miz to win, I don't have a problem with Braun winning this. I just don't think he needed it.
He didn't need it.
You know, I don't want to see Braun run in halfway through a match and, you know, cash in as if he needs to do that when he can easily just manhandle people. But, you know, listen, if he gets the title off Brock, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
So, you know, shout out to Braun. Hopefully he, you know, he takes the belt off Braun. Or, you know, takes it off Reigns. Fuck it, who cares? Whoever gets it. But,
that'll make him super over if he does that, you know.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, you know, it is what it is. He,
But, you know.
It could be worse. It could be worse, you know. So, you know, good job, Braun Strowman.
But with that, I'm going to be giving this match I'd give it about a 4-star. It had a lot of high spots.
Really?
It had a lot of high spots and a lot of fun moments. Granted, it wasn't just because of the match itself. It was also from the pre-show build-up with Kevin Owens early on with the New Day segment where he tries to like scheme with them.
Trash bag full of pancakes.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, you know, like who are you? Who out of the three of you is going to be in this match?" And you know, they start teasing it like, "Oh, you know, like how would you sit here with us and we'll discuss it over these pancakes?" He's like, "Oh, I don't do pancakes. I don't do breakfast foods at all." He's like, "I don't like cereal. I don't like toast." He's like, "I had your cereal. It was garbage." And Biggie loses his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of good storytelling building up to this match. Granted, like there were a few spots where I was, you know, kind of concerned, like the thing where Finn decided he went to the fucking curb stomp Bobby Roode from top of ladder. Thought he was gonna kill that man. Or what else was there? There were you know, the Kevin Owens spot where he almost died falling off that fucking ladder. Kofi falling off on his side. You know, there were a lot of good spots in the match. I also saw a lot of good, funny interactions. Apparently, Hannibal Buress was ringside, and he was making fun of Finn when Finn got perched up on the announce table, and he just wouldn't get up. And he's just sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You might want to get up." He's like, "You know, that's not a good spot to be. It's like you're under a ladder. You might want to move." And Finn's just sitting there, just like staring blankly at the ceiling. He's just like, "Just get the fuck up, guy." I mean, granted, that obviously has nothing to do with the match, like as far as like match quality. But I don't know. I just personally enjoyed this match. I thought it was a good match. Granted, I guess the way I'm rating it was, in my opinion, the match of the night. But it kind of deserved to be. It I don't know. I'm a mark for Braun spots. I don't know what to say.
Sure. I would probably go a little bit lower. I'd probably go 3.5 on it. I do love Braun Strowman, and I love his spots, and I thought it was hilarious when he catches Kevin Owens on the ladder and he's yelling in his face, "I told you I'd get you," and all that. But, you know, like you mentioned, you know, and I asked earlier, was Bobby Roode even involved in this match? I wish there was more of a balance of everybody getting in their stuff, and that's kind of what I liked about the women's ladder match. I mean, granted, Alexa Bliss fucking, you know, hung outside the ring for the majority of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people got their time to shine, and they had their moments, and you know, I kind of wish the men's match had that a little more. So I'd probably give this 3.5. And, you know, have it just be a little lower than the women's match overall.
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, if I had to walk back my rating, all things considered, put things in perspective, I'd probably just lower it by a quarter star. I'd give it 3 and 7. I mean, yeah, three and 3/4 stars,
Sure.
or 3.75. But overall, what do you give this pay-per-view out of 5 stars?
Probably a 3. The thing about this show is when it was good, it was really good, and it was bad, it was really bad.
So you're giving
The
it like an
highlights
average?
obviously being, yeah, it would probably be like a C on the A to F scale.
Okay. Okay.
The Rollins and Elias match was great. The AJ Styles and Nakamura match was really good. The
Oh,
Money
we
in the
forgot
Bank
about
matches
Dick
were
Kick
also
City.
really good.
We forgot about Dick Kick City. The spot where Nakamura, after having low blowed AJ on the fucking announcer's table, he's just sitting there. He's super tired. He's burnt out near the end of the match. And he just looks at AJ and he says, "Come on!" And AJ just punts him in the dick,
Yeah, yeah, we did forget about that.
which was,
Forgot
basically
about
the
that.
match's ending. He took that punt and then
Sure, got the phenomenal form.
yeah. But yeah. Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off. But as you were saying,
But yeah, it was an average show. There was some really good matches there, and there was some really bad matches. So I'd go to 3.
I think that's more than fair. I'd probably give it about a say like a 3.25. It was okay. The good matches were definitely better than the bad matches were bad. There were only about 3 or 4 really bad matches. Most of the matches were average at best with questionable booking, and then like the 4 highlighted matches were probably the best matches that
Yeah,
we probably were gonna get, so I'm okay with that. It was the 2 ladder matches and the Nakamura Styles and Ronda Nia match. Probably like the 4 best matches. Elias Rollins was like right there in like the top 5. So it was solid. It was solid. But yeah. With that, guys, we're gonna be wrapping it up here. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Call in the Ring. Once again, I've been Chris. This has been Mike.
yo.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Oh,
Comment down below if you like what you've seen down here, and let us know what you thought about this pay-per-view. We're always looking for a conversation that can be had about more stuff oriented around wrestling industry and stuff like that, and we'd love to hear your opinions. Please follow us on Twitter. Our links are in the description down below. We'll always be, trying to tweet live, especially when it comes to stuff oriented around, the world of professional wrestling.
absolutely.
Try to catch a few things outside of WWE here and there, so, never know when you'll see us pop up about that. But yeah, with that, we'll be having a challenge video for you guys later on in the week. As stated earlier on this video, Michael won the prediction video, so we'll be choosing our challenge. We'll be likely booking, or rather rebooking something. So look forward to that. We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, Mike, you want to close this out? Anything like that?
Always tip your waiter.
Always tape you later. All right, cool. Words to live by. Words to live by. All right, guys. And with that, we'll catch you later. See you around. We're done.
Later.